So would you mind just introducing yourself and just telling us a little bit about you, introducing your business, and yeah, let's just start there.
Awesome. My name's Alisa Cook, and I've been in the marketing space for about 10 years. I started my field prior to that was education. So I was a high school principal, elementary school principal, special ed director, and then I wanted to retire, but I knew I needed to do something. And so I thought, I can write content, I can do some editing. So I started off with simple editing and writing tasks, and that turned into, content writing is marketing. And so then it turned into, through my work with several clients, taking on a much more hands-on approach to marketing, helping clients solve marketing issues, not just what content do you want me to write this month. So built out from that, a couple different ways of working. One is Ally Marketing, which is our niche boutique agency for chiropractors and physical therapists. So we work with that niche. It's very boutique. We only take on 10 to 15 clients at a time. So we can really nurture, and develop that relationship to really understand their practice and what they're needing. That's one side of it. And then the other side of what we do is more general. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs who have written books, and they want to figure out how to not just market their book, but market themselves. And then I also work with small business owners who, they're struggling. It's too common that small businesses think marketing has to cost a lot. And that can be true, but that it's also very scalable, so you can make sure you've got a solid ROI. So it's like twofold. I've got the boutique agency, which is kind of a passion of project of ours, because I used to co-own a chiropractic office.
Okay.
And I understand the pains of that and how difficult it is. Back in the day, all you had to do was hang a sign on outside your office and hook up with insurance companies, and you'd have plenty of clients, but those days are long gone. So we understand that whole process. That's why we kind of took that on as a passion project. And then the other stuff is the meat and potatoes. I still love it. I love the work. I love working with clients, and have built a good team behind me to make sure that we can provide pretty much anything they need in any budget. Wow. So we got clients that, paying me, a couple $100 a month. We got clients who are paying me $15,000 a month, depending on what their needs are and our level of involvement.
Okay. Pretty cool. So it's interesting that you do authors as well. Marky started actually specifically for authors.
Oh, no kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah, because we saw, authors need that marketing a lot, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah, and that's kind of another passion project of mine is, and I don't get paid for this, but I've created a Facebook page for self-publishing authors to learn how to market. Because, they'll spend years writing a novel or, a book on, some historical period, and it sells, 10 copies, and it's a good book. And so there's things that they can do to market themselves. And we're actually building out resources for them that I'm charging for, but literally it's just cost. Like, it's just like whatever it costs me, I'm not out to make money off of these guys. I just want to help them, because I've been there too as a self-published author. If I knew then what I knew now on the books that I've self-published, I'm sure they would have been more successful, but most of the time I was just handing out those books as a business card. But there's so much more behind what authors can do marketing wise, for sure. So that's awesome. That's very interesting. We have that similar.
That's where we started.
Yeah, that's excellent.
I still think it's one of our, authors and coaches are a pretty large sector of our customer base right now.
Yeah, for sure. Coaches. I mean, a lot of my clients who we help with, these entrepreneurs. They've written these books. Their goal is to become a coach, masterminds, inner circles, and things like that. And and that, that doesn't surprise me now that you mention it, because a lot of the content that my Marky generates is kind of perfect in that realm. When I say, hey, I've got this coaching client and here's the website, and you guys put together the, you wave the magic wands and that content comes out, it's really appropriate for coaching, in connecting, in building those relationships. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all now that you mention it.
It kind of makes sense, huh?
Yeah, it does. It does. And the what I love about too, what you guys are doing is, so often when you get into the AI space, and I was like, immediately once I learned about AI and ChatGPT and how I could use it as a marketer, I realized two things came to mind. One is, if I don't get on board with this, I'm out of business, right? And so I jumped on very early, and was always looking for tools so that I could enhance what my clients could utilize, right? And so making those tools work for them in their price point. And so the thing that I noticed straight away with the product that you all have built is the quality of the writing. That it doesn't sound like anybody in this space, anybody who has worked in this space and using tools like ChatGPT, for example, we recognize it straight away. Like, oh, that's ChatGPT. Unless you know how to engineer a prompt. And now it sounds like a person. Now it takes on a persona because you've given it, like, for example, the authors that we work with. One of the things I feed into that prompt engineering is, here's the voice I want you to write in. Here's a sample of that writing, and replicating that. Too often it becomes so generic and so dull and so boring, versus feeling like a real person behind that. Because we all know most of the content that we see in social media is generated by AI these days. But is it well written? Does it still resonate? Is it got an emotional aspect to it?
Right.
Is it gonna inspire someone to act? That's where my Marky, I think, excels. Really, I barely have to edit any of the content that comes in. So that's exciting that you were working, looking at helping out authors. That's very cool.
Thanks for that feedback, Alisa. Yeah, that's really good to hear. And that actually, you kind of mentioned a little secret feature there that we haven't told anyone yet, but something we're planning to do is actually incorporate, when you connect accounts, we're going to import some of the past posts you've made and use that to understand your tone even better. So you're going to see the quality of the content continue to upgrade.
That's great. That's great. I noticed today when I was working in a client's file, a coach, when I was generating some new content for them, I was noticing the flexibility now in changing, the images and the content, and more like a Canva approach. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we did just release that yesterday. I'm glad you already got a chance to try it out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We also just released being able to post to personal LinkedIn profiles as well.
I saw that too, and I'm like, oh, let me do this right away. So I of course connected my own personal profile and a couple clients' personal profiles, because that's awesome. That's very exciting. Yeah, I of course any tool that I recommend for a client, I'm using myself, right? So I'm not going to recommend a tool or a platform or service that I'm not utilizing myself when appropriate. Like, there's certain things that aren't appropriate. For example, for chiros and PTs, the really powerful tool is what you can do for Google visibility. Like, you can totally dominate the first page of Google search for not much money, but that's all very local. I'm not a local business, so I obviously don't utilize that personally. But the vast majority of what I do, we've utilized as a company and as an organization. And so I'm not going to sell or use something that I don't use myself. So the first profile that was on there was me when I started working with your tool. And now I've shared, I think I probably have maybe 6 clients on there right now, or getting up to that point. But more to come for sure, because it's becoming a staple in what we can offer people. So when I show them the quality of the content and that, hey, we'll do 30 days of social media for you, and because of your tool, I don't have to charge a fortune for it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I usually honestly, I actually just throw it in. I'm like, hey, if you do this and this and this, I'm going to throw in social media for you, because I know how much it's going to take. I know how much bandwidth it takes on our end. But I also know the value that it can offer a client, that they don't have to worry about the social media side of it. Don't worry, we got your back. Let's focus on this other stuff. Right.
That's good. That's good. Okay. Well, thank you. Well, I think you mentioned a couple of the things about what initially drew you to Markey, and probably also you've kind of talked about some of the things that have made you stay. What results have you seen with the accounts that you've been using it on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, definitely measurable results. We're seeing a lot more engagement. We're seeing more, in LinkedIn, for example, you look at impressions, you look at comments, you look at engagement in general. We're seeing that tick up. We're seeing, like I said, a lot of my clients are on LinkedIn because they're B2B kind of services. So that's a great space for them, but also Facebook. But on LinkedIn, when I'm looking at what's going on for them, we're also seeing their profile views go up. So we're seeing that. They're getting responses because my Markey, you can tell in the writing that they're designed for engagement. So they're starting to get comments and likes and shares. So we're definitely seeing that benefit. Plus just the whole fact that it frees the client up to focus on the big stuff. Social media promotions. Remind me to tell you about ads. Social media, is self-promotion is the bottom line, but it takes a lot of time. And we all know the importance of daily, awareness, daily activity, not just for visitors, but also for the algorithm, that these social media platforms like that engagement, they like that activity, the less often you post, the less you're going to be visible anyway. So the ease of being able to post daily, or more than daily if we want now, because you've got that ability to set the time and the day, is fantastic. But going back to ads, I actually set up a temporary profile for one of my clients. He wanted to run some ads for a new course that we built out for him. He's a real estate investment coach. Fantastic guy, wrote a great book, but it was just sitting there. I said, well, let's make a course out of that and let's plug the course. So what I did is I created in my Markey that here's this guy and it's just about this course. So for the website link, I put in the funnel that we built for the course. And the calls to action are to enroll, or connect here, whatever. And so, because we were going to run some ads, we were going to run some Facebook ads. And so I'm like, I'm just going to create the ad creative in here and see how it goes. So I don't know, I maybe created 10 or 15 posts that I then turned into ad creative for Facebook. And we just started it, so it's too soon to say, but I mean, I can definitely see activities. I can see which ones are hitting and which ones aren't. But the vast majority of them are getting some good traffic. So we'll see, fingers crossed, if he starts selling those courses. That's the goal, obviously. But I used it to create ad creatives because, all I had to do is clarify this is the call to action. And so then I got content, for that call to action. So that was kind of a little experiment to see, hey, I wonder if this would work for a good ad creative. So we'll find out. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
Please do let me know. I'm super interested to hear about that.
Yeah.
Well, so there's a lot of features that I think you brought up white labeling, right, to us. But I mean, there's a lot of possible features out there between white labeling, the feature I told you about that would make the content more human-like, with bringing in their past posts. There's Reels on the horizon.
That was what I was going to mention. How about Reels?
Yeah. If you could wave a magic wand and have any feature that you wanted released tomorrow, what would it be?
I think it would be Reels. It would be Reels. I mean, I think one of the things that we're learning in the marketing world, and this is why, to whoever's watching this, if you're working with someone who purports themselves to be marketing, make sure they're staying on top of trends and what's working and what's not. One of the things that we're seeing in marketing is, and I don't want to say SEO is dead because it's not. However, the new SEO is Reels and YouTube and channels like that. The new SEO is video. If you're not doing video content, you are not going to be seen. So, in a very real way, you still have to pay attention to, things that you have to pay attention to for SEO, but you have to be generating content. I mean, I don't know about you, but I watch a lot of Reels, daily, and I'm not, I'm not in my 20s. I'm 58, and it's not just about the young people. It's about everybody. Everybody enjoys that content. Everybody is learning from that content. People are tapping into that. That's where your clients are. That's where your people are. And if you can figure out a way to create that and market and target, you're golden. You're golden. So, Reels. Yeah. I can't think of anything else. So many things I see you guys working on, in development. Like TikTok would be huge, obviously. Maybe YouTube integration. That would be a good one.
Yeah, especially once you get Reels. Yeah.
Yeah, once you get the Reels, having the ability to post those on YouTube channel.
So you would choose Reels over white labeling if you had one option today?
No, I would choose white labeling. Here, I had a meeting with a client this morning, and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff for him, and he's like, well, I'm hiring someone to do this. And then I'm like, I can do that for you. You don't need to do that, So he brings me in and he wants to do all this stuff. And one of the things with his content, because he's basically recruiting account executives, he's recruiting people to sell basically his service. His company works with businesses to give them cost saving things with no risk. Like they don't pay anything until they're saving money, and the account executive just has to connect, the decider in the business to the company. So they have to be super, super, super careful about what language they're using, because of LinkedIn is very careful around if you're posting that you're hiring, that if they get a hint that you're a company like an MLM or a networking company like that, they'll shut you down. And so I said, listen, I can develop some content for you via, LinkedIn newsletters, and we're going to develop that YouTube channel. But the other thing was the social media, just the posts. So I actually ran, they're on the platform now, and I ran some samples. Here's what this content can look like. But I need them to review that text to make sure that this is being said and that's not being said. And so for them to have the ability to go in there and do that without me like cutting and pasting it or sending a spreadsheet. Yeah, that would be all right. I want that tomorrow, but then next week I want Reels. Is that reasonable?
Okay.
Now that you mention it. Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be fantastic because I think it's always a good idea to give clients, right? If we're working as an agency, which we are, to give clients the ability to very easily go in and say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, or just edit away.
Mhm.
That would be super, super cool, especially for clients like that they have to be really careful.
Mhm.
They've got legal. I've got another client, he's based in Canada, and he's a financial consultant. So you have to be careful because it where he's at, he
Mhm.
either can't say advisor or consultant. I can't remember,
Mhm.
even though he's licensed. He has to be very careful about the words he uses. And so
Mhm.
we have to make sure that if financial consultant is the word he can't use and then that's in the text, he can get in trouble,
Right.
like major fines. So
Right.
yes, I want white label tomorrow. I'll wait. I'll give you till Monday.
Oh, thanks. Well, what do you think your 3-month business plans look like now that you have um marketing in the picture? Do you see
Mhm.
yourself scaling your social media? And if so, how much?
Oh my God, yeah, for sure. I mean, in the past, I shied away from offering social media because of the amount of work it took. So then my first step, because I knew clients needed it, was to hire an agency to do it for me. And
Mhm.
there's definitely a place for that still. Um, Absolutely, because there's definitely where you want like that absolute 100% human touch.
Mhm.
And so I do still use them with almost every client, but that's limited to like what most clients can afford is like one post a week like that versus me saying, listen, let's do this. And let's do this daily posting as well. So I'm offering social media more than I was in the past. I used to refer out or white label that human agency. And I'm never going to not work with them because they're going to do something different. It's much more bespoke. It's much more like, for example, I want some ad content that's going to double as a really powerful social media post. That's super, looks like an ad,
Mhm.
you know? Um, so now I can offer much, much more. So basically, it goes back to what I said earlier. Um, a lot of times I just throw it into a package because I'm charging for X, Y, and Z. And guess what? I'll give you this too. So it
Yeah.
becomes a selling point. It really becomes a selling point like, oh, you're going to do my social media too? Awesome. And of course, I build that into my pricing. I know how much the cost is to me dollar wise. I know how much the cost, for the access to the program, but also the time of either me or someone on the team working on it. So I factor that in, but to be able to say, like, buy one, get one free. Hey, sign up for Google local ads and top 3 for your chiropractic business. And you know what? I'm going to throw in the social media for you. It's a great selling point, and it's high quality. I'll give you an idea as an agency, as we were trying to grow, as we were trying to develop that niche market, especially. I hired an agency to help me. Agencies hire agencies too, right? And they did a great job, except with social media. It was crap. It was horrible. Like, what is this? And I said, just stop. Just stop with the social media. And I'd rather not post than post that,
Mm.
And to be able to offer high quality social media at an affordable price, because it still needs that human touch, right? You still have to have human eyes on it.
Mm.
You still have to have someone looking over it and making sure that, yeah, this is saying what I want it to say. And just say, we'll manage this for you and we'll do it for free because I can offer that now, where I didn't even want to touch social media. I was like, no, I don't do social media. Let me refer you to someone who does. It's awesome. It's a great selling tool, and it's a gift that I can give people. I love all right, I'm going to expose myself as the nerd that I am.
All right.
I know that probably shocks you, but I have fun. Like, I like going in and saying, oh, so-and-so needs some social media. So a lot of times it's something that I could absolutely farm out. Like, I've got people that I know I can show them how to build. Like, I'm selfish and I have fun, generating content for clients. Like, who thank you for that. Like, I'm like, ooh, Tim needs more content. Let me go in there and let me do another month of content for a half hour. And that's with me going in and tweaking things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
That's great. Alisa. So yeah, I guess, what do you see in 3 months? Like, how many clients do you see yourself supporting for social media?
Probably between my own clients and my clients' end clients, in 3 months, probably 30 to 50.
Okay.
If I can, I'm trying to package it. Like, right now, I actually have a call with one of my clients and his end clients, and we're really pushing content, and specifically reels. So once you get those reels on there, that will just explode, because then we can daily we're going to post some reels for you, and let's get that visibility bumped up. Let's bump up what is now really the new SEO, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say 30 to 50, especially once you get the reels integrated.
Yeah. Man, did you ever think you would be doing social media for that many people before?
Oh, hell no. Like, right, if you're one person, and you're doing social media, maybe if you're doing it well, maybe 5 clients, maybe, right? And the fact that I can sprinkle it into different packages and offer it as a bigger package, because that's the thing with marketing. You have to look at the big picture. It's never one thing that you have to do. It's 10 different things. And so that can be something that we offer freely, and not freak out when someone says, yeah, I want you to do social media.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad with that. Not freaking out.
No, definitely not freaking out anymore. Now I'm like, ooh, yay. Let me take care of that for you. I like that.
All right. Well, Alisa, I really appreciate your time, and I hear you on the host that white labeling and reels. That's definitely a high priority for us as well. Just to give you an idea of what's on our roadmap. I mean, you saw we released a ton of things this month. Just a couple days ago, that was kind of our big push. And then, I think January big push was like allowing you to custom schedule and, post multiple times a day. So now March, our big features will be team access and uploading your own a folder of your own images for the AI to use, rather than it just always using stock photos.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of our big theme for March, and then April will probably be white labeling. We'll see if we can start getting some real stuff in there as well. We'll probably roll it out in stages, so you'll see it like get more and more advanced. But yeah, so it's all pretty quickly. I mean, in the grand scheme of things.
I mean, I'm thinking I've only been with y'all for 4 or 5 months, maybe, and so seeing already the improvements. I already thought it was a fantastic product, but seeing how you're paying attention to requests that people are making and implementing them, and they're solid. They're solid, and you guys are doing a fantastic job. I'm so proud to be a part of this, the beginnings of this, right? And so yeah, and I already sent out a newsletter to I'm sending out a newsletter for our niche clients, the PTs and chiros. We do a newsletter, And it's the first time I pasted my affiliate link, like, hey, check this out. This is a great program. Because I really do believe that it's something that'll just save people a ton of time. So even if I'm not working with them directly, it's a great resource that we can tell them about. That's very affordable on the individual business level. It's very, very affordable. And sure, I'll take a cut because I really believe in what you're doing. And I feel like, whatever we can do to help small businesses get through some of the, get away from working. This is a cliche, but getting away from working in the business to on the business. And when people are stuck spending all their day trying to get their social media presence up, that's great. But it means that they're not doing the really smart stuff, like the strategic planning, the building out, the budgeting, the other side of the marketing, like the thinking and the vision behind the marketing. We don't go into businesses. We don't create small businesses so that we're stuck on the computer all day doing social media marketing. We create businesses because we have a passion about something,
right?
Healing someone or coaching someone, helping people, not creating content.
Well said. Well said. Yeah.
Oh, so what happens when you're this old? You get smart.
You're not old. Come on. You're a
I know. I'm not.
I'm
not. I know.
Just getting started.
Just getting started. It's true. It's a new chapter of my life. And this month is my record sales. So it's been really exciting
awesome.
to finally feel we're scaling up ourselves just like we promise our clients. So it's record sales this month. So it's really fun, really exciting. It's great work. I love it.
Definitely. Wow. Well, I am really happy to hear that. And I mean, you know how to get a hold of me. Krish is technically your account manager. I know she's been but she's listening in. And so you have both of us now, if you're ever not able to get a hold of me for some reason. Krish is well trained on all the AI stuff. So if you're ever maybe oh, the tone isn't quite right, or I don't know how to change the colors or something that's just not quite right, or there's a bug, don't hesitate at all to reach out to us. Like you said, we like to be really close with our customers, and especially people like you that are early adopters. You see the vision in it, and I definitely want to honor that. And so yeah, we're here for you. Let's ride this together.
Let's do it. We got it. Excellent. Well, it's great meeting you in person. Great meeting you, Krish. And yeah, I mean, anything that I can do to help you guys get the word out and spread the love, I'm happy to. I'm a big believer in what you're doing, and I love your vision. And that it's not just a vision, you're implementing it. It's a fantastic product. Head and shoulders above anything I've seen out there, honestly. And trust me, I have been looking, so I'm happy.
Wow. Thank you for that. That's really great to hear. And just making sure it's okay if we use the recording from today for things.
Yeah, absolutely. However you need. Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Great. All right. Okay. Well, it's great to see you guys. We'll talk to you later.
You too. See ya.
Bye.